just been informed how to actually get into spectate mode, because I actually used the wrong one. So I'm just going to sort everything out and we'll get with you with the action.
Green light. Show them what you got.
So it looks like everything's sorted with the stream. So hey there everyone, and welcome to the NAGTS channel. We're here for the special event of NAGTS versus Green Light Sim Racing GSLR for a little GT3 GT4 event here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. So Nürburgring GP circuit is situated in Nürburg, Germany, and you may be familiar with the Nürburgring because of the full Nordschleife track layout, which is used actually for a lot of GT3 racing, such as the 24 Hours of the Nürburgring. But we're here for the short layout of the circuit here at the GP circuit, which hosted a Formula 1 race up until I believe 2009, and also one in 2020. So it's a pretty good track, produces a lot of good racing with very differing corners, very challenging corners for our drivers today. So with 18 minutes left on the qualifying, we have Murdoch the Menace on pole position with a 2:04.7 in his GT4 Audi. Second place, we've got another Audi, 5 tenths back of Pante. Fizzy in a provisional P3, 8 tenths back. Jimmy, another pretty close there in an Audi. A lot of Audis for choice in the GT4 category. 1.2 seconds back, we have Fix, Gumbro, Stoner, who I'm told is the owner of GSLR, so he's doing pretty well there in P7. P8 then goes to Daz, provisionally tacked out in P9, and the last of the lap setters is Mark Querty, and also the last of the GT4s. The GT3 guys still all yet to set a time, so it will be interesting to see where these guys will stack up. So 16 minutes left of quali. We'll go on board with Fizzy Snuggles as he begins to negotiate his lap, coming through turn 1 pretty nicely there, using the camber on the inside to help rotate the car into the long left-hander of turn 2. Then you can see the tyres really scraping for grip there from the tyre marks, using all the track, then coming into turn 3, braking and aiming himself at the corner, running it tight to that curb, bring it back over to the left-hand side to flick it in and get a good exit through turn 4 and into now the infield section. So a pretty tidy first sector there from Fizzy as he comes into turn 5, braking just at the start of that concrete there, using the inside camber to help him rotate the car, and again trying to get as tight as he can to this inside through here. Don't want to set up a late apex. And then on the run to the hairpin, gets a little bit squirmy then coming out of that corner and can't quite get the power down as efficiently as he wants in that Group 4 BMW M4, coming into the hairpin, then braking at the start of that curb and trying to hug it tight, use the camber to his advantage, running the car out wide to the exit of the corner. Pretty nicely done there, and into the Schumacher chicane for Fizzy, using the curb on the outside to open it up. Doesn't use the curb on the inside there, using it for the second part to try and straight line it and keep it flat for the exit then, and coming into the final sector then, braking just at the 100 board down to probably third gear, using that inside curb very nicely there, and try not to use too much to unsettle the car, but bringing it back out wide and chucking it in for the fast right-hander that leads onto the back straight then. Not using all the track he can perhaps, but pretty tidy lap so far from Fizzy. This could be a provisional pole lap time, using the curb there on the inside, bringing it back over to the right hand side for the last chicane then. It's the full fast chicane to round off the lap. And is it going to be a provisional pole position for Fizzy? Oh no, he peels into the pit lane, so obviously he was not happy with that lap. It looked pretty tidy from where I was sitting, but perhaps he wasn't too tidy and too happy with it. We actually have a Porsche out on track. NLR Badbull then, the first of the GTs to be on track and try to set a lap time then, as he will be looking to take the GT3 pole position. So 2 categories then for today's race, GT4 and GT3. The GT4 is obviously being the lot slower. So basically GT4s are glorified road cars and GT3s are basically glorified road cars. So basically GT3s go faster and GT4s go a bit slower, but they're not anything to be ashamed at. Very quick. GT3s just a minute longer. It's just a snazziness. They're more snazzy, they've got more carbon parts, they've got more complicated aero. You can even just see, so have we actually got a Porsche in? No, we'll go to a... There actually isn't any different brands. So you can see with the Porsche then, it's got a much bigger rear wing, more wide, just more technical, more advanced, and you can see then as we go on board with, say, a Group GT4 McLaren, you can just see it's a bog standard McLaren. There's no real complicated aero, or maybe a little bit here and there. There's no complicated aero parts being used, or sort of anything like that. Again, with the Audi, there's a couple of, like, you know, splitters, and there's more downforce here. Again, as I said, it's just more of a glorified road car than anything else. We've now got 9 people watching, so pressure's on now. So if you are enjoying, guys, do please like the stream, as it does support NAGTS in this amazing event they've got going on against Glsr. My pleasure to be your commentator for tonight. Then as LNR Badbull crossed the line to start his lap. Coming into turn 1 then, you can see the GT3 car is braking really late then at the 100 board. Not too confident, but he's getting on that inside camber really nicely. And if you notice anything strange in my voice, guys, yeah, I'm not feeling too well. Luckily it's not COVID, so I'm fine, just yeah, a bit under the weather. But yeah, so Badbull negotiating the first few corners pretty well then, cooking that curb up nicely. He's got, who is that? He's got an Audi, I believe, behind him, chasing him down in that tow, and just looking to see if he can set a good enough lap time. Pretty tidy through the first sector, then coming through this fast left-hander, you can see getting a little bit squirmy. That Porsche is pretty hard to drive, so don't blame him for wrestling the car a little bit, but keeping it smooth and controlled for the time being, running out wide to the curb, maximising the track as well as he can. Then on the run into the hairpin, he has got the 86 car right behind him for company. AGS then, his Porsche comrade behind him, then chasing him down. It looks like he's actually caught him up quite nicely on this lap, coming through the Schumacher S. And it looks like, oh, Badbull's gone wide at the Schumacher S, got a bit unstable in that Porsche then, and that's going to be his lap over as he gravels it and manages to bring back onto the track. So luckily he can still recover and not lose too much time from that. So we'll go back on board then with his opponent, AGS then, in the Porsche, who seemed to be on a much better lap than Badbull, who obviously spun at the Schumacher S, but it's been a lot more tidy lap for AGS as he negotiates into the final chicane. Doesn't use the curb as much as he can. Straight lines the exit though, and gets a good run coming into the final corner. A little bit like the Hungaroring here at the Nürburgring, running it tight, getting on the power as early as he can as he negotiates the final corner. 11 minutes left in this qualifying session as he comes across the line. What's it going to be? It is going to be a 1:56.0, which is a really good lap time then in that Porsche. He's going to go for another lap. And are we going to see any other GT3 cars cross the line and see if they can go faster? Looks like the closest we've got to that is the 23 car, or 22 car, and New Davy, who go P2 and P3 respectively. 1 seconds and 3 seconds off respectively as well. So pretty far gap then from our pole sitter. Just goes to show how smooth a lap that was and how quick the Porsche is. And on pole position for its home race, New Davy bumped up into 2nd place as Freshie G goes 3rd and Pug Gallo goes P4. Very close times then between Freshie and Pug, only 0.21 between them. So then, sorry if there's any pauses, I do have a big family who decide to come into my room when I'm busy. But Rainmeister, as you saw there, as he tried to negotiate his lap, spun at the final corner and didn't manage to complete his lap as best as he could. So as I was saying, they are, yeah, they just love to intervene when I'm trying to, you know, commentate for you guys. So, as I was saying, Rainmeister going for another lap as he spun at the final corner on his flyer. So not the best run for him at the moment. Still got 8 minutes though, and plenty of time to set a better lap. Bobby, as we saw, goes second in the Lamborghini to go 5/10 off AGS then. So just still showing to be such a good lap as he's also improved to a 55.3, so 7/10 quicker for the pole sitter then, as he looks to try and claim that pole position in the Porsche. Bobby isn't going to let it go easy. We saw Bobby in the NAGTS Spa race doing really well in his Lamborghini car, but Rainmeister coming into the final chicane then, from up the corners to round off the lap, getting a bit of a lock up and a bit of a tyre scrape then, coming through that corner and looking to negotiate. Is he going to make it around with that spinning this time, running it tight, looks to take it rather nicely, get some power. Is it going to put him pole or anywhere close? He comes across the line. Is it going to be anything special? And it looks like it was invalidated. So all of that and it was invalidated. So we'll go on board then with Bobby, the man in the Lamborghini Huracan, looking to chase after pole as AGS goes another 5/10 faster and improves to a 54.8. He's insane. Absolute crazy times coming out of that Porsche then. Let's see if anyone else can even get as close as Bobby is now. New Davy in P3, Freshie P4, Pug in P5 and Bad Bull P6, the only GT3 cars to set a lap. And looks like Pug Demol is also picked Freshie G. It's very close as soon as you get past that P3 stage. And the Ferrari is also set a time to put Pug Damo back, but Freshie G responds and goes back into P4, so it's a good fight then for P4 as Bobby rounds off the final corner. Is it going to be an improvement? He goes about a couple of tenths faster and brings that gap to about 8/10 to the pole sitter. AGS, is he on a lap? We'll go on board with our pole sitter coming through the chicane, then running a little bit wide, coming out the hairpin on the run to the Schumacher S. Is he going to be able to negotiate really well? Nearly flat out then in these cars, and he negotiated that perfectly, hitting all the apexes he needed to. Now coming on to the final sector, rolling the curb through there on the inside, really tidy. A couple of corners then for AGS. Is he going to be up on his time again? Is he going to be able to bring it down to about a 54.5 or even anything less? Absolutely insane improvements then from AGS across the session. 5 minutes to go in the lobby before we get into the race itself. And coming through the Schumacher S, the penultimate corners into the final corner. AGS chucking it in then and getting the car pinned. Very tricky car to drive is that Porsche GT3, but he's handling it really well across the line. Rainmeister's only gone 4/10 off him in the Bentley. Goes to show he has got the pace. Doesn't improve on that lap, does AGS. So Rainmeister pips Bobby to P2 for the time being. Still got 5 minutes to go though, and Rainmeister will be looking to improve on his time as well. Can he perhaps challenge for that pole position here for the race? AGS then looking strong. Bobby also looking strong. New Davy a bit far back, same with everyone else, but it looks a bit close then for that battle for P4 amongst all of these guys up in the GT3 category. New Davy in the pits and not looking to set a lap, but we'll go on board with the second place now from Rainmeister as he looks to exit the pit lane and go for perhaps another couple of lap shootout. So it's been a pretty thrilling qualifying session then for you today. very very hard for positions, especially that P4, and still the pole position could be under threat. AGS is looking quick, but is he quick enough to hold on to it from the fast Star Bobby and Rainmeister? If they can hook up the lap, it may be close, definitely going to be close in the race then, as we've got a 90-minute race, I do believe, for these guys. So we've got the GT3 class and the GT4 class to for, and both races are going to be threading then between them. Your GT4 pole sitter is Murdoch the Menace in the Audi, followed by another German car. It's a German, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's a German top 8, then it breaks the McLaren, and then it's Germans again. So they're showing really strong then at their home race, and the Brits can't quite get as close as they want. I've just been informed that is an NAGTS 1-2, it's an NAGTS 1-2-3, it's an NAGTS 1-2-3-4, and then the GLSR guy breaks it then in P5. So it's an NAGTS 1-2-3-4 for the time being, as Jax Racing goes within a 10th of your provisional pole sitter with 3 minutes to go. Then a stonking lap in that Bentley goes to show the Bentley has got the pace. Has got the pace then, but can the Porsche hold on? Perhaps the Brits can do something in the GT3 category. Can't quite touch the Germans then in the GT4s, but perhaps we can do something in the GT3 category. Only a 10th between pole and second, and then only a few tenths back to the P3, and then only a further 3 tenths back to P4. So everything still to play for in this qualifying session. So with 2 minutes to go then, everyone will be getting about 1 to 2 more laps, independent when they cross the line. If they cross the line now, they're not going to get another lap in. So if anyone crosses the line now, it will be their final lap. Jacques Racing then will be the last to cross the line. We'll stay on board with him then as he looks to pip AGS to pole. He's still in the pit, so he's not going to have a chance to defend his lap time. Perhaps that's as fast as he can go. Can Jacques find that extra couple of tenths, maybe just pip AGS, who looks so dominant all qualifying session then in the GT3s? Perhaps Rainmeister can pick up a good lap and spice things up as well. Don't forget Sar Bobby then, as he looks to try and get involved also. Definitely going to be a tight one then, 90-minute race, and I'll bring you all the action here on the NAGTS YouTube channel. Picking up this lap rather nicely, negotiating the Schumacher chicane then, does Jacques Racing. The 39 car. Oh, the NAGTS boys going to work together in the race to try and pip GLSR, or are they going to screw that and go for victory? It's still an NAGTS 1-2-3-4 for the time being, so not showing too bad as Star Bobby returns to pit, so he is going to be in that P4 position. Rainmeister and Jacques though still trying to chase after these other top 3 positions. Jacques Racing negotiating the final corner. He's going to get another lap if he's quick. Looks like Rainmeister's already started his second lap. Jacques crossing the line then for his penultimate lap. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a pole position lap time? Is he going to pip it to pole? Yes, he is. An amazing lap time there from Jacques Racing. That is his final lap, and he beats him to pole by 4.5 tenths. Absolutely amazing lap then from Jacques as he goes pole for Bentley. And Rainmeister coming through the hairpin. Can he respond and also make it a Bentley 1-2 here at the Nürburgring then? Coming up towards the hairpin, braking just at the start of the curb there, running it tight as much as he can, using the engine braking and trail braking and camber to get the car turned in as well as he can on the run up to the Schumacher chicane, using the curb on the outside to get the car turned in, getting the car as close to that inside curb as you can, running the Astro on the inside there for the final bit as he comes in to the final sector. braking just after the 100 board. Then third gear goes a little bit wide, doesn't hook up the AstroTurf as much as he would have liked to. A second down on the pole position lap time then. Is this going to be an improvement coming through the last couple of corners onto the back straight? He's got another right kink just before it though, so coming through the right kink on the run up to the final chicane, braking rather nicely then, and really chucking it in a very fast chicane, using the curb, using the second curb. Car very nicely settled then. Can he beat the pole man, or will it just be third or second? AGS looking so strong. Is he going to fall back to third place? Raymeister across the line then. Is it going to be second? No, he improves but only just. So it is going to be Jacques, followed by AGS, Raymeister P3, Star Bobby P4, Norge P5, Davey P6, Freshie in P7, Damo in P8, and Bad Bull rounding off the GT3 class. The GT4 class then, Murdoch on pole, Fizzy in P2, Pante P3, Jimmy in P4, Fixate in P5, Gumbro P6, Stoner P7, Daz in P8, Takdad and Mark Querty rounding off the grid at the back there. So, not looking too bad of a race for everyone today, as they look to win at the end of the 90 minutes. A very long race. Sorry, a very long race on our hands then, so it's not all going to be won at turn 1, or maybe it will be. Will we see the winning move on lap 1 as someone perhaps goes up the inside and controls the race from there? But they need to remember that it is a 90-minute race. It's not a 5-lap sprint, so there are going to be no unnecessary moves, otherwise it could just ruin your race on lap 1. And you know, ascend's always good if you need to get the move done, but don't do anything silly, perhaps into a fast corner where you're just going to get turned into. But we've got 3 minutes until race start then, as everyone tries to make the final set adjustments to the setups and jacking the cars up rather nicely there. So just waiting for everyone to ready up and get going. 19 cars on today's grid, and we've got a lovely race on our hands today then. And sorry if I do yawn or the voice sounds pretty bad. Again, as I said earlier, I'm not feeling too great at the moment. Luckily not COVID, unless the test was wrong. Hopefully it wasn't. But yeah, so not feeling the best, but I'm still going to do my best to bring you the best commentary that we can for today's race. Thank you, of course, to everyone who has given me the opportunity to be here and commentating for you all here at the NAGTS versus GLSR League event. So 1 minute 40 on the clock before the race start then. One minute till start time then. So strategy will definitely play a factor in today's race, as people could perhaps underfuel the car for the first stint, go slightly short and get the track position early and try and eke out the tyres as much as they can, or just go sort of even it out. So you've got 90 minutes, so that'd be 3 half-an-hour stints or 2 45-minute stints. It could be close. It's not the